Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to a bit of an impulsive video that I decided to do today because we got some brand new news here, some event confirmation, but also some huge event details here about the Ace of Raids Gambit. Sorry, excuse me. A Gambit raid that is going to be coming out in the middle of the month. So they've given us some pretty huge details about this event coming forward, and there's a lot to talk about. So I want to talk about it here with you guys, and let me know what you think about this as we go through it. So I haven't actually read it through in its entirety, but I did skim a little bit, and there's a lot of stuff to know. So first off, there's going to be a brand new Gambit raid for those who didn't know. It's going to be like a completely different raid than what we've had in the past, apparently, and also they're testing it, allegedly, and all of these are subject to change, so know that whatever is featured here in this blog post, that it could change at the drop of a hat. So just like everything else in Marvel Strike Force, everything is subject to change. So it is scheduled to release for June the 15th at store reset time, and that's going to be exactly 1 week from now, which is going to be after the patch, after patch 6.2 launches, which presumably is going to be either next Tuesday or Wednesday as well, you know, around noon or something like that. And the raid is going to last for 14 days, which is replacing a Greek raid that would normally run. So that's kind of interesting. So we're not going to have more screen time by having a Greek raid alongside of this. Alliances can start a new version of the raid every 24 hours using unique raid keys for this event for a total of 14 runs. So this is a 1 day, well, I guess I'll raise her 1 day. I don't know why I said that. Never mind. So 14 days, presumably, of Gambit raids. Now, traits. Similar to other raids, there's going to be node trait requirements. But for this raid, there's going to be 4 different nodes, or traits for nodes. The diamonds, the clubs, the hearts and spades category, and they've had a list of all of the characters that are going to be involved in this. And it's kind of wild. So we have diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades. Here's a list of characters. There's quite a few of them. Maybe I can zoom out a little bit. And we're gonna start with. Can I squeeze all of them in here? Oh, kind of. So we have, I think, diamonds on the left. So we have Domino, Deadpool, Gamora, Nebula, Strife, Magic, Dr. Voodoo, Morbius, Colossus, Carnage, Sivia, Spider-Man, Gambit, Dazzler, and Sunfire, who is going to be available through offers, so pay to win, not free to play, available for this event. And so for each of these nodes, you're going to need to come up with a team from each of these lists. And I'm not going to do that here in this video. I'm going to spend some time later on tonight and, of course, devise a spreadsheet table of each of the 4 categories and who are the best characters for each of these that I think. But just off the top of my head here, you know, Gamora and Nebula is probably going to be here because I have them from Infinity Watch. After that, probably Sivia, Spider-Man as well, right? And so, you know, I may go with my strongest characters or characters with the best synergy. So we have clubs, we have Magneto, this name, because I can't say it because it's my dog's name, right? Silver Surfer, Taskmaster, Spider-Punk, Thor, Yellow Jacket, T'Challa, Yondu, Shatterstar, War Machine. Don't do that. Gambit again. So Gambit's in all 4 of them. Actually, I just saw Gambit's in all 4 of them, which is kind of interesting. And Phantom X is also not in all 4 of them. Okay, he's in 2 of them. I thought he was. And then Sunfire is also in 2. So for this one, I'm thinking, well, Silver Surfer, for me anyways, maybe Thor, because this is going to be post-rework for the Asgardians, right? And so that could be really good. This could be good, too, in combination with Thor. And then T'Challa and Yondu, maybe together. I'm not sure. But other than that, this one's a little bit of a tough one, because I don't know if you really want to use Spider-Punk standalone. Tricky. We have Hearts, we have Kitty Pryde, Mantis, Emma Frost, Spider-Woman, Agatha, Ghost, Sharon Carter, Ghost Spider, Nico Minoru, Misty Knight, Dagger, Calling Wind, Gambit, and Dazzler. So, outside of the obvious, you know, inclusions here of the Unlimited X-Men, Dagger, really solid character there, even standalone. Emma Frost, possibly as well. Agatha Harkness, probably because I have Darkhold. Sharon Carter, standalone as well. And Ghost Spider. Those are probably the good standouts for me, in my opinion. But again, I'll be doing a chart for this too. And finally, with Spades, Morgan Le Fay, Deathpool, Daredevil, Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch. Like, all these are garbage. Garbage. Jubilee, Cull Obsidian, Thanos, Sunfire, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man. So, okay, Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Who else was here? Was it just the two of the Web Warriors? I thought I saw more than that. Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider. Then we have Deathpool, Morgan Le Fay, and some random character, maybe Thanos. You know, Thanos and Deathpool together, possibly. Other than that, kind of... Oh, sorry, Jubilee. I don't know why I missed that out. Jubilee. It should be on there. So, yeah. Jubilee instead of Thanos, probably. So, where I think is going to be the weirdest one, this Clubs one is a bit awkward. But again, I'll be putting some charts together for everyone to kind of, like, see who are the best characters in each of the category and who you might want to consider. I've done this similarly for previous events in terms of, like, the tiers. Like, a tier list per category. That's kind of what I'm going to do. And I'll do that coming up soon. New energy refill and heal resources. This raid will have its own dedicated resources for energy refills and revives. So, a separate currency for us to whale on, for people to use, because you can't use the existing ones for this, of course. Raid lanes. Below, you can see the diagram of the nodes, the trait requirements for each lane, and the lanes you'll likely want to assign your alliance members. So, where's the start? Like, all the way down here. This is... Can I open this in a new tab? That might help. There we go. That's actually quite helpful. So... Down here, it's off the screen, unfortunately, because of my... Yeah. Oh, wait, you can sort of see it down here. This green. So this is the start. And we have 1, 2, 3... Are these nodes? Maybe they're not... Sorry, maybe they're not nodes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 6 lanes. And they do... not actually intersect. So, like, on the sides, you get all hearts. All the way up. All hearts, and then on the left you get all diamonds, and then in the middle you get clubs, and then it turns into aces, and then clubs again, and then aces if you go this way, and then it kind of use both, and then on the other side is clubs, you know, and then it goes into aces as well. Clubs, ace. So the weird thing is that the people who are running the clubs and the aces are kind of having to do more than one. But the people who are running just the diamonds are only having to do one lane. So diamonds and hearts are only having to do one section, but the people who are running, for the most part, but the people who are running clubs and aces seem to kind of cross over a little bit there. So as far as, like, which ones are harder, it's probably going to be the clubs, right? Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. The diamonds and the hearts didn't overly seem that bad. It's probably the clubs that's going to be the hardest. So we'll talk about this more in a future video, because I think we'll need to spend some more time doing about this. So let's move on. Player path breakdown. That's interesting. Can I open that in a new tab? Okay, so there's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 nodes here on the left. And it actually ends here as well. So 14 nodes on this entire left outside. Same with the right. And then on the inside we have like 1, 2... It's less, I guess, on the inside. But I guess that suggests to me that you're going to want 2 people running on the outside, left and right. And then 1 person for each of these other ones. Is that what I'm kind of getting at? That's what it seems like to me. But maybe I haven't just spent enough time looking at, you know, the proper way to run the raid. That's what it seems like. And I guess with me and my alliance, we're going to have to really discuss about who's going where. And that's going to be a big challenge, right? Because I don't know what everyone's roster is at in terms of the characters that are in this list. So I think assigning people is going to be quite challenging. Alternating enemy teams. One of the new twists in each of the nodes will feature 1 of 3 different enemy team compositions chosen at random when the raid starts. For example, node M1 might feature enemy Brotherhood characters the first time the raid is launched, could feature enemy Wakandans the second, and Defenders or Heroes for Hire the third time. So you can't even prepare, it seems, necessarily. You just need the best characters for those lanes because you don't know what's going to pop up on the node, it appears. So that's kind of crazy. Please note that the team compositions listed below may include additional characters that are not of the listed trait. Brotherhood, Wakanda, Defenders. Wow, okay, so M's 4 and 5 and 6, mutant characters and humans and Fantastic Four. You know, I don't even care. Is there going to be any, like, Eternals in here? Pimtech, Black Order, and Thanos. Avengers, Infinity Watch. So are the nodes the same? You're just using different characters? That's what it sounds like. That, you know, depending on which lane you're going, you might come up against very similar characters in each of these lanes. You're just using more challenging team compositions yourself, such as the clubs category, which has, you know, arguably worse characters and tougher characters than this. So quite an interesting concept. I don't know if this is going to hit home or not, but this is something that definitely you and your alliance are going to have to really talk about. Bosses for this: Magneto boss, Black Panther boss, Calling Wing, and Misty Knight. That doesn't sound like fun. But it's in raid context, so it's not a war thing. Second bosses: Dark Phoenix, Silver Surfer, or Web Warriors. Third bosses: Black Order and Thanos, Infinity Watch, and Emma Frost. Like, so we're going to have to fight Infinity Watch from that list of clubs characters? Great. And then the final node is a Gambit boss. Additive combat modifiers. The next twist to the Gambit raid are additive combat modifiers. As players progress through the nodes, different sections of the raids will add special rules for combat that will stack on top of any previous modifiers, adding additional challenges and theory crafting opportunities. What they really mean is ways to fuck you in the raid using less than ideal characters because there isn't a lot of synergy there. For example, starting on M1, there'll be one combat modifier. Starting on MB1, there'll be two combat modifiers. Starting on MB2, there'll be three combat modifiers. And what is that? What's a combat modifier? They haven't really been clear about that unless that's down below. So as you progress further in the raid, there's going to be more combat modifiers. All right, here we go. When a player character blocks, they also get... This is like fucking Scourges. They're adding Scourges onto the raid. That's basically what they're doing. When a player character uses their ultimate... Like, will we know this in advance? I hope so. At the start of a match, one player character gains Disrupted. They're Scourges. All of these are Scourges. When a player character gains Stealth, they also gain... This actually sounds directly ripped out of the Scourge. Especially this. When a player character gains Stealth, they also gain Taunt. That's a Scourge. All enemy special and ultimate cost is reduced by 1. Maybe that's not a Scourge, but a lot of these are actually Scourges. Player character uses their ultimate, they gain Blind. That may be a Scourge as well. Enemies generate 1 extra energy each time they generate energy. That's definitely a Scourge. Like, a lot of these are Scourges. Difficulty, there will be a total of 10 difficulties available. Normal plus 9. Oh my god, yeah, this is like Raid Scourge. Scourge raids. All of which will be unlocked at the start of the event. Completing the higher difficulties will grant all the first-time rewards of the difficulties below it. This is intended to be a significant challenge and will put the full might of your teams to the test, but the higher the difficulty you can complete, the better the prizes. Rewards. This is what we all care about. Individual nodes rewards will give raid credits, gold, points for the associated Ace of Raids milestone, and points for the raid season milestone. Rank rewards will include gold, fragments of a Gambit orb, essentially, and points for Ace of Raids. First time completion rewards includes T2 level 1 ions for some difficulties and T2 level 4 in the higher difficulties. Okay, whatever. A part of, you know, for me, what I'm wanting to know is how many Gambit shards are up for grabs, how many orbs, etc. Like, what are we talking about in terms of the different difficulties? And that's not something that they're probably making clear right now because we're almost towards the end of the blog post. In tandem, there will be a 7-day milestone that will repeat once, 14 days total, so 2, because there's going to be 2 of these. They'll grant tons of rewards, including the opportunity to rack up more shards for Gambit. Yeah, that remains to be seen. Disco balls, T4 materials, and more. The second run of the milestone will include the Glimmer Bracelet, which is important to getting more points for this Rollin' Rebel June event, and then unlocking Dazzler. So if you don't do well enough in the raids, you're going to get fucked for not being able to unlock Dazzler. Let's be really clear about that one. Giving you a big boot. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So we can see the raid maps on msf.gg, or they're going to include it soon. And it's a very crazy fucking raid feature. So what's the next step? The next step is really figuring out what the best characters to use are. And then also figuring out who is going where in your alliance with this raid map. Two things. Characters, or maybe figuring out where you go is the first thing. And then the second thing is building up the associated characters for that lane. Because you're going to need to be told where to go. In a lot of cases, you know, your alliance leaders or captains are going to tell you where to go, right? So you need to make, for those of you who run Discord for this, are going to have to let people know what your roster looks like, and you're going to have to individually assess your own roster and say, hey, what's the best? You know, like, in terms of these characters that were listed, you know, what do I have and where can I go? That way you can help your leader and your alliance, you know, to help figure out a plan for this, because this is going to be very convoluted. And for casual players, this is going to really fucking suck, because most casual alliances are not going to be able to understand their own alliance's roster. And so I'm skeptical on how this is going to go and how this is going to be received. It does look challenging, and I'm not disputing that, but for an event that involves a character release, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and like I said, there's going to be upcoming videos related to these characters and who I think are going to be the best ones to use for that. In the meantime, I'm going to be figuring out with my alliance what we're going to do. So that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, of course, and I'll see you all later. Good luck on the start of the Pride Inferno milestone that starts later on today. So see you guys later.